seconds. But in my day-to-day life, it's quite consultant, strategy to roll out tools. I talk to a lot of users and try to change their minds regarding online. Sometimes I succeed in that, and sometimes I learn from that as well. I'm very excited to be here for this site. It's my first focus site, and I like to ask you some questions just to know who you are. So please scan this code. If you're not able to scan the code, you may use this bit.ly link as well. Watch out, it's case sensitive. Wi-Fi, yes, so there is Wi-Fi. It's called TIC, and the password is Queen's Park with a capital Q and a capital P. So I think we will have a party later. Of course. Okay. So you answer some questions. I'm totally prepared for that. You see that? Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Do you know that? When someone is watching, typing is the hardest task you can do. You can't do this anymore. It's just like super awful. So do we already have some? Ooh! 1, 2. No. We're not done. We are not done. Yeah, we will, of course. So I just wanted to know who you are. Okay. Oh, and we don't have any trends right now. Okay. We will dig into that a little bit later. Perhaps some of you are still answering that. Before we do that, who of you considers him or herself as a maker as well? Some kind of citizen developer? Who of you is a developer? Who of you is a unicorn? So many unicorns here. Okay, so there are 4 easy steps to become a maker. Are you ready for that? Okay, first thing is hardware. First, speakers on your laptop. That's right. Buy a mechanical keyboard. Because this is what unites pro developers and citizen developers. So that, don't talk to me, I can do those. I'm just so focusing, but I have the most easiest keyboard in the world. Okay, second thing, accounts. Please sign up for a thing. Because you can't copy and paste totally where it is. Third thing is you look here, so you need to have a texture. It's very important. I'm going to put on dark mode on every single device and every single app as well. And now the very most important thing in the world, your skills. Ability to put curly braces around text. And some resistance as well. So resistance. Okay. I was a little bit procrastinating to prepare the session because it was not very long. So running out of my So I can't work under pressure, but I won't start working without. Who of you can relate? Okay. We're on the same page. I like that. Okay. Who of you attended the other PPA session today? Who of you had no clue what Power Virtual Agent could be? Okay, so it's a checkbox. It's really no code. Really no code. Do you approve it? Wow. Okay.
As long as you don't go into skills.
As long as you don't go into skills. It's no code. We can automate stuff with that. Which is really, really cool. I will give you kind of an example for virtual agent is really new on the block. Okay, that's very fair. And I would like to make an example. So what can it be used for? So do you know those companies who want to use Microsoft Teams, but they turn group creation off for all users, and then they want to kind of the approval process, and someone needs to say, yeah, use your team, and I mean, no one is responsible for that. Do you know those companies? And then they have to like those forms, it's ugly, users don't want to fill that out because they always say that. You know, computers are new. This is what I would like to do. I would like to have a chatbot. So the user can ask me, hey, dear boss, I want that team. And then the boss asks, hey, you should be the owner of that team. You should be the co-owner of the members, the purpose of the team, or should it be private or public or whatever. So all the things we need to know to create a team. Then the magic happens, the approval process. And after that is done, I want that the user to be created. This is what we want. How do I do this? And the chatbot should be a team as well. You don't need to be a member of the team to use Teams. So the left rail, I want to have this done. Second thing is, I want to create a flow in Power Automate. So you can make it before that, I will say there's no tool. It's not that easy for you. The first flow should pick up all the inputs from the chatbot. And then I want to have a second flow, which provisions the team. So I thought about that and it was quite logical for me. Then I wanted to go to Microsoft.com and thought, hey, so if this that, then we would create a team. And very importantly, there was no create team action in flow. I was like, hey, this is not fair. I wanted to do that, and I said, hey, I'm a maker, so to make things happen. So what I needed to do, obviously, was using the power of the Microsoft Graph. Who of you described that? Who of you has no clue? Okay, so I was there as well. So I feel you. So Microsoft Graph is like a friend you can take on, like an octopus with several arms to get information, post information to any kind of service in Microsoft. And this is pretty nice. So I needed to learn that. I recommend a blog series which was published by the Microsoft Graph team. It's called 30 Days with Microsoft Graph. Ever heard of that? Highly recommend it. So you spend 30 days, 10 to 15 minutes each day with them, and then you're pretty fine with using the graph. Okay. So what we need to do is, first we need to create a bot. We do this in Power Virtual Agent. Second thing is, we need to create this provision. It's a little bit tricky. And third thing is, we want to publish this bot as an app to Microsoft Teams. Okay. Who of you knows how to do this? Want to come on? Okay. So what I want to show you is this is Power Virtual Agent. Perhaps I'm going to. It's visible, huh? Can you see that in the back? It's good, huh? Okay. So what I wanted to do is, if someone says to the chatbot, "Hey, I want a new team," some trigger phrases. The bot first confirms. Okay, do you mean the creation of a Microsoft team indeed? And then I confirm yes. And if yes, then it's really could set up another topic and then hop between the topics. I had in mind, so because my customers always ask me, hey, do you Yammer translation or do you know that? Do you know that? One day you use Yammer, one day you use Teams. Okay, so then Yammer communication is created, but there's no proper API to therefore I couldn't do that. So, but I can't blame myself. I blame someone else. I made sure they understood. Believe me. So what I did was, from the chatbot experience, after asking, hey, what should be the team name and who should be the first owner and the second owner, because it's a good practice to have at least 2 owners per team, at least. And if it's private or not, I called an action from the chatbot. And this action was a flow. So how does this flow look like? Lucky me, Microsoft has a template for that. You just need to do some minor changes on this template so it looks like that. I will show this to you in a second. So it's when an HTTP request is received, and then we just put in the variables we need, just for the team name, and if the team is private, and who should be the owner. And then, yes, we need to initialize some variables. And depending on if it's private or not, I just wanted to respond to the Power Virtual Agent and put all those entries just in a SharePoint list. Just that. And from within this SharePoint list, I have a second flow. And the second flow provisions the team. So how do we do this if there is no, hey, please, dear Power Automate, create a team in Flow. We need to register an application in AD just so we can authenticate against the graph. Who did that? Who has no clue? I've been there. I have been there. I was like, I need to do what? I don't want an app. I just want a team. I don't want an app. I have never been to portal.azure.com. Do you know why? Because I am a fucking user adoption specialist. I talk to end users. I make them love SharePoint Online. It's not what I usually do. So I went there and I was like, wow, this is totally overwhelming me. But I read some blog posts and I read even more blog posts. Because something is always missing. Hey, you just need to follow these simple 6 steps to do whatever, but I will skip the first 2 and step number 4. Because everyone knows how to do this. I wasn't the one to know this. But hey, I achieved this as well. So what you need to do is you need to go to portal.azure.com. It looks like that. After you clicked on Azure AD. And then you need to register an application. So I did that. So I prepared something for you. Do you know that when the cook in the television is preparing something? Yeah? That's not me. I can't cook. Believe me. Okay. So what you need to know is any application you register has an application ID. And this is very, very important. And you need to keep that in mind just because if you want to authenticate later, you need to have this application ID. And you also need to have your tenant ID. So we have different tenants usually. So I had different tenants, and you need to have the right ones because otherwise you can't authenticate. So I granted some API permissions, API for the Microsoft Graph, just because. Why? Anybody able to answer that question? Yeah, make it working, because otherwise it wouldn't work. I needed to grant admin consent. So lucky me, I am my own global admin. Who as well? That's so cool, huh? It makes things very, very easy, but please don't do this in your production environments. Just saying. I've been there, done that as well. Now, the most important thing in the world. you need an app secret and a password. You can create one. Just like this. And you have a one-lifetime chance to save this little bit. If you don't do it right now, you need to create another secret, just because the information is gone. There's no option to say, hey, I want to do that. You can just create a new one. There are the most important thing. So I learned that I really need to say that. These are the little things that make my life so easy. Okay, so this is very, very important. And after I had all of that, I went to Power Automate and said, hey, okay, I have a variable called tenant ID and app ID and my app secret, and yes, it would be better not to hard code it into a variable, but just put it in Azure Vault, so this would be better, but this is just a minimal viable product. And I initialize as well a variable for the group ID. I will need that later, just to create a group, but this is empty. And I was so lazy to type in the URL of the graph that I even put that in a variable, so it doesn't make any sense, but I did that. And I did an HTTP call to get the owner ID. Why did I do that? Just because I only have the email address of that owner, but group creation doesn't work with that. I need the ID, so therefore I needed that. And now I want to have the manager of that person who's requesting the tea. I could put someone else in it, but it's the get manager action, which makes it very, very nice. So if you have a mess in your AAD, this won't work. So then perhaps if there is no manager, then we need to add another action or another condition, just like if it's empty, then use someone else. Don't put your own name there, just because you don't want to approve all those teams. So this is an advice I gave my customer after they complained, hey, I received so many emails after you did that. And I said, yeah, but you asked me to do this. So, okay. After we got the manager, I create an approval. And I want not to get an email, but I want a fancy adaptive card. Who of you likes adaptive cards? Woohoo! Who of you has no clue what I'm talking about? Yay! Louder for the people in the back. Adaptive card. So what is an adaptive card? Adaptive card is the so-called future of notifications. It's just like a fancy thing that has the look and feel of the environment you code it in. So if you code it into Outlook, it looks and feels like Outlook, and if I code it into Teams, it looks like Teams. So this is the whole magic. How do I create an adaptive card? This here is just an action in Power Automate, so I didn't need to do anything, just like what do I want to have inside of it. But if you really want to create adaptive cards, there is an adaptive cards designer. You can reach it at adaptivecards.io/designer. It's quite easy, so if you have this visual designer here, and when you specify what you want to have in this notification, you receive a little bit of JSON code, and then you can just copy paste it into your desired environment, and that's quite easy. So I did that as well. I will show this in a second. Sorry? Yeah. It is good. Oh, yeah. So technically, JSON is perhaps a little bit code. It's not too codey. Who of you believes JSON is code? Who of you feels okay with that? That even no-code persons like me use JSON code-ish like things? Yeah, it's okay. It's a must. It's a must. So, because if we don't understand that, because it's just text in curly brackets, it's just describing what I want to use. It's just like an Excel formula. Yes, there is syntax, in the language I am speaking is syntax as well. I'm not speaking code. I'm not breathing that. But if I want to use more like one action in a flow, just like put this into that, which doesn't bring any value, then I need to learn just a little bit of JSON code. Okay. So depending on the outcome of this approval. So if the manager says, hey, nope, I'm sorry, you don't get a team just because you're not responsible enough, or you already have 20 teams or something like that. I just update my SharePoint list. So in my SharePoint list, there's a column called status, and I just say, hey, rejected. And the one who requested the team gets a message in Teams, just because he requested in Teams as well. And this is the adaptive card I created for that. And it's very, very easy to do so, just because you only use this adaptive card designer. After that, you copy paste the JSON code in here, and then you replace some of your placeholders, just like team name or owner name or something like that, with the dynamic contact flow. So that's quite easy. And it looks way better than just a usual email. It looks so much better. If the outcome of the approval is, hey, it's true. Yes, you deserve a new team. You got this. Oh, I have so many actions right here. Okay, I will talk you through that. First, I want to update my SharePoint list because now it's approved. It's not created, but it's already approved, and I want that. I always want my SharePoint list to be up to date. Second thing is I need to create the Office 365 group. So we all know the foundation of a team is an Office 365 group. We know that? Who has no clue? Okay, that's good. So what we need is we need to type in here this URI. We need to define, hey, this is application JSON. Then we need that JSON code snippet. Where do I get this from? How could I know what I should write there? I'm not a developer. Microsoft.com, which translates to read the fucking manual. And it's here. And kiss my ass. It's just that. Just because if you're not able to read the documentation, if you're not able to read the blog post and to read what docs@microsoft.com says what will work, you won't succeed in that. So you better read twice, and then you just copy paste in your flow. And the only thing I needed to do, and I needed to learn that the hard way, we needed mail nickname. Do you know what is the mail nickname in group creation? What is that? No, the mail nickname. Everything before the end, but without spaces. So if my team is called my super amazing superhero team with unicorns, and I put spaces in between, this won't work. You will always run into an error. So, and therefore, you see that this thingy here is purple. I said I did another variable just for the mail nickname, and the mail nickname is just replacing all these spaces with nothing. That's everything. And if you did that, after that, you already have an Office 365 group. I didn't want to have a group, I wanted to have a team. So what do I do to have the team? There is another action which I can run in the graph. It's called, hey, this is method put, so I want to update a thing. So post is always, I want to make a new thing. Put is always, there is an old thing, not that old, but still old, it's already existing, and I want to update that. So I already had the old thing, which was the Office 365 group, and I wanted to update this to a team. And we can do this with graph.microsoft.com/beta. Yes, it does work with version 1.0 as well, but then I ran into an issue, and then I was like, oh, fuck it, I would just use Git. You know that feeling when you say, oh, come on, just... I'm sorry, Michelle. I am very sorry. She brought her daughter, which amazingly does pretty nice drawings of all the speakers here, and I'm just cursing here a lot, so I need to apologize. Okay, so what I did was just like updating this with the group ID, which I needed, so I parsed the JSON, which is here, and I set the variable which was previously empty. You remember that I said I initialized a variable just for the group ID, so now I can use this, and then I update my SharePoint list to, hey, now the team is created, and I sent adaptive cards messages in Teams to the new owners. So I asked for 2 owners in my chatbot, just because it's a good practice, because otherwise the owner creates a team, invites several members, after that leads the team is ownerless, we all love that. Who of you have that? Ownerless teams? Yeah, we all do have that. So, and therefore I just post some adaptive cards messages, and again, I used the adaptive cards designer to achieve that, and it was quite nice to do so, and this is really easy stuff. Okay. This is what we do. Now, I have this provisioning process. How does this come as an app with a chatbot into my team? How do we do this? Any ideas? Okay. We did that. We need to publish our bot. Who of you has never published PVA? Do you know this game? Never have I ever? So now you have some topics you can talk about that. So before you get too embarrassed, so I never published the bot. So you can easily say that. So what you need to do is wait. Oh, it's so fast today. Who wants to sing a song in the meanwhile? No one? Oh, we have a volunteer. Okay. Okay. So there is an app in Teams which is called App Studio. And who of you never used this? So before I never used this. So it was already scary for me that it says developer tools. I was like, whoa, I don't want that. Are you scared for something like that? Perhaps it's just me that is easily scared for something like that. Okay, so if you're not already installed that, here's a button just like, hey, install it. I can just open it. I asked for permissions. It was not helpful. It was not helpful at all. So what you need to do is you need to open the manifest editor. And in this manifest editor, you can create apps And I already did that, so it's here, so my Unicorn Delicious app, for instance. We need to have this ID. Where does this come from? How do I get an ID? So, for what? So what did I want to do? I wanted to talk with Power Virtual Agent, this fancy thingy, with Microsoft Teams. So very obviously, in Power Virtual Agent, there needs to be an ID, so I can paste it here. So let's have a look at that. So it was quite easy, just because this here, this is the whole dialogue. And then I published, and after I published, I said, okay, now I can configure my channels. And you could run this chatbot on a website, or in an app, or on Facebook, or on Slack, and wherever. And for some reasons, I didn't want to do this in Slack. I wanted to have, yeah, come on. And that won't be fair. I wanted to have this in Teams. And when you do this, you see this ID. So this is the ID, and you just need to copy that and paste that into the app manifester in app manifest. Well, that thingy, you know that term thingy? So since I know thingy, I can explain every thingy. Okay, you got that. So you just need to paste this here, and after you did that, you need, because there is an asterisk. If you don't set up a picture, just like a nice image, and you don't choose the transparent outline, if you don't do this, you can't proceed with that process. This surprised me a lot, just because I thought this wasn't just that mandatory to just make it pretty, but very obviously I needed to learn that as well. So this was that. Then I needed to set up the bot. I had a tutorial. It's my chief troublemaker sitting in front row, Thomas. Thomas set up an amazing tutorial and said, hey, I made it work on the Teams scope as well. I couldn't do that. I don't know why, but I ran into issues, and then I was like, okay, I will do this on personal scope. In the documentation, Microsoft says it only works on personal scope. To be honest, he made it work. Does it still work? You haven't checked it yet, so be better prepared when you come next time to my session. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so this was that. This is very, very important. And last thing was you need to define a valid domain. And the valid domain is token.botframework.com. You need to wait like 5 seconds or so, and then it will appear here. You don't need to do any additional stuff, but you need to distribute your app. And now I ran into the next issue, just because I was like, hey, this is going to be super easy, just click install and that's it. I have been so naive. So as I said, I'm my own global app. And I granted that I can use any app, third-party vendors and stuff at all in my own tenants. And even if I did that, I ran into an issue which said, hey, you are not allowed to do this. So if I click on this install button, and I have all permissions in the world, so I'm God in this tenant, it says, boom, computer says no. Okay. So after computer said no, I was like, okay, let's try the other fancy buttons. So perhaps they could help me. And I just downloaded this package and then uploaded it again from the app catalog. And then it worked. So what I did was I downloaded right here. I got a zip file. And after that, I went here to the apps and said, hey, just upload an app. And if I did that, my app appeared right here. It was this one here, And now I have this nice app in the left rail in my Teams experience. And the user doesn't need to be a member of a team to ask for immunity. Does it make sense? How long did it take me to find out how it works? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. My question to you is, what possible scenarios could you think of? Solutions like this, just like implementing a bot as an app into perhaps Teams, can be somewhere else as well, to enhance communication, collaboration, to simplify processes, to unfuck user experience, just because I had a fucking user experience doing this, just because it wasn't made for me. So originally I say I'm a maker, this is not maker stuff. I shouldn't be doing this. I talked to some developers who said, yeah, that's not that you did that, but you shouldn't be doing this. So what could you think of for a possible scenario? It's up to you.
If I need to pull data from multiple data sources, like CDS, SharePoint, people, maybe logs, and then next to that,
You're a data person, huh?
that together, just put that to
You don't like that, huh? I am a very tolerant person. Do you like Japan? Do. We are very tolerant. What else? What can you think of? Nothing?
Obviously, we work in IT.
Sorry, you work in IT.
Yeah.
Who else of you works in IT?
Right.
So I feel very active. I stayed on purpose. And then
So I mean, we spend our team all the time, right? We're all like here at it kind of time. We're saying things going wrong. Actually, a little bit of foundation on the process. Yes, I'm going to start and go and check them in there already there. And who are the members are actually feeding that information back to the user.
yeah.
Even as part of that.
Yeah. Very nice.
So that could be something unfixated on multiple entries for data duplication.
Yeah.
So that could be something that if you're creating a team for, so you have an account in CDS or something that you're sharing or whatnot,
Yeah.
and you're creating a new team, you might not necessarily shit that exists, that it already exists,
Yeah.
which would be bad. You know, if you make a duplicate of it, so with that, you can
So
protection and
what
that.
I would do actually, already working on the technical version of the pattern is using Azure search just to is there something similar or
Right.
people talk, yeah, perhaps there is no team called marketing, but marketing one. You know those things? Marketing one. I hate that when people do this, but they do. So just dealing with it's not the same, but perhaps similar should be nice as well. Yeah, very good. Very good. Impact on business. Who agrees on more productive client approach if we use chatbots? Who of you disagrees? Just because chatbots are like lame, they always say, hey, they ask 20 questions and then say, hey, I can't help you. I would just put your call to human agents. Yeah, so we have all been there, just chatting with the chatbot who couldn't help us. It's just like if I call my internet provider, they can't help me at all. And it's just human agents.
You think people will not use it because they don't use it?
So I think if we really put efforts into designing the chatbot, just like thinking about what could a user ask, what could a user want, what is his or her desire, so what makes their life better and easier. If we really understand users and then design the chatbot, then it will provide value. If is our job role. We don't need to necessarily talk to them. Not all of us, only some, but we really need to think about that. Very, very nice approach. Just because in companies you have a different kind of companies you have a different tone. It's just like what is usual, what is your culture, how do you interact with each other? Is it more formal and are you just like very traditional? Or are you those companies? Or and everyone's like very tired so are you more open and doing fancy stuff? So how are you doing? How do you roll? If you have someone who understands communication, this one just helps you just designing the chapter to just the communication experience. It doesn't need to be someone who's technically deeply skilled or something like that. Just to give advice, of course. Yeah, very, very true. Second thing is fast adoption. Why can we adopt a bot so fast if it's in the experience I already know? So if I'm already familiar with Teams, the bot is in Teams, and do not need to have to learn a new application. It just feels natural to be there and just type my question, say, hey, I want you to, or hey, Teams, please, or something like that. So depending on how the tone is, so it's very, very good feedback on that. Goodness. So if I build that, I can apply all the rules and all the policies I want to have in place. So we need to have a proper governance concept. Who of you don't have one in that company? Good luck with that. Can be hard, I see. And I think if we have almost human interfaces, like, hey, I can speak a natural language, I do not need to multiple choice what I want and what I want always in between. Do you know those words? I know. That's not good. So I think this could narrow these gaps, which are very traditionally between IT departments and business departments. You know this gap? You know what I'm talking about? So who of you is working in IT? Who of you ever thought about the dumbness as human user? Just like people are stupid, they never do what they are asked to do, they don't think, they confuse everything. They always send those email attachments. Why do they do this? Just because we created something for them that forces them to do that. Just because we made their environment. So if a plant doesn't grow properly, what do? We change the environment. We give the plant more light or more water or water at all. We don't try to change the plant. Yeah, valid feedback as well. That's a nicey. So impact on IT. Will this reduce costs? Of course. Is there licensing costs as well? Yes, but I won't talk about that. For some reasons. Will it improve user satisfaction? So if the bot just does what it should do. If it doesn't say, hey, I can't help you. So if we do our job properly, yes, this will lead to very user satisfaction as well. Do you want my slides? So if you want my slides, please scan this code. You may do this now. So this is just like the app secrets. It's a one-in-a-lifetime chance to do so. You like it? Yeah, I like it. Are there people in the world not liking it? I am a current person. I don't want to do that. Do you have a question? Not you. Which questions do you have?
You're so awesome.
Now you make me blush. Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Apart from me being